Okay, a big good evening, everybody, and welcome to MMTV 9. We are live from Marley and Mancunia studios. If you are watching this at home, please do share it. Let's get as many people watching it as we possibly can. It is live, it is Mancunian, it is rock and roll television. So please, you will expect, if you are watching at home, a little bit of effing and jeffing as the night goes on, yeah? But studio audience, are you ready? We've got one special announcement to make before we crack on tonight, and our friend, and we know we will be watching tonight, Anthony Crolla, has today found out that he is going to be doing the world title fight in Los Angeles on April the 12th. Make some noise for Anthony Crolla. Big friend of MTV. He's been on here, and we know we'll be watching tonight. So tonight, we have got music from Twisted Wheel, Glove, and Johnny Brown Solo. We're going to be talking to Tommy Fury, writer and producer Brian Gorman, Dave Ryan, and are you ready for this? Shaun Ryder. Once again, though, please do share this, whether you're in the studio audience or you are at home. This is MMTV 9, live from Manchester. To start the show tonight, will you please put your hands together and welcome from Mosley, the Afghan Sand Gang.
yourself. Be someone. Stay on the course you thought was right. I can hear the leader licks his lips just before we seen it coming on. Speaking tongue, get out. Seen it coming on. Speaking tongue, somewhere down the line. Coming on, speaking tongue, somewhere around it.
Thank you. All of that was on purpose. That's a part of the show. And we do it the same every time, every night. Second song? Yeah, I'm serious, yeah, second song. Oh, you're fucking seriously? Yeah, I'm fucking serious. Might as well. Fucking drove here, might as well do it.
The acapella version.
the sheets. Some men in the streets. We have 14 you thought, the preacher said to me. Can't help but follow on and sterilize your speech. The streets, sight runs deep. It floats for a while the line and sever the road. Hold in your throat as I watch you choke. For less I left the road. Holes in the boat and I hope it floats. Throw out the line and sever the road. Hold in your throat as I watch you choke. For less I.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
There we go. Let's hear it for the Afghan Sangang. Come on. Nice one. Cheers, lads. Okay, I know there is a few technical issues tonight. The lads are working to get it sorted. But from what I can gather at home, it is sounding all right. Is that right, the stream? Yeah, the live stream at home is sounding fine, which is okay because there are 18 million people watching at home. But once again, make some noise for the Afghan Sangang. Come on. As always, with all the bands we have on, make sure you do follow them on social media, get to the gigs and support them, yeah? Okay, still to come, Shaun Ryder's in the building. We're going to be having chat to Shaun soon. First of all, though, later on tonight, one of the most important bands from Manchester of the last generation are going to be playing live tonight, Twisted Wheel. First of all, though, Twisted Wheel, yeah! First of all, though, Johnny's here from the band. Johnny Brown, where are you? Twisted Wheel on in a bit, but Johnny's going to play a couple of soul. Here he is, Johnny Brown! Okay, well, Johnny's getting ready. I've got something to tell you, right? MMTV Live 9, we are going on tour. We're doing a thing called Tour de England. If you want to come, you're welcome. We've got a 50-seater coach. Let me tell you what's going to be happening. It's going to leave Manchester on the 7th of May till the 12th of May. It's going to head south. We're going to be doing 4 live shows on the road. We're going to have bands playing on the bus, and it's going to finish at a big party in UK hosted by Graham Park and Marshall Jefferson. If you're in the studio or you're at home watching and you do fancy it, if you go to the website mmtvmcr.com, you will get all the information on it then, yeah. Okay, I think we're nearly ready for some more live music. We've got loads and loads coming up. We have got Glove and Twisted Wheel playing later on. First of all, though, from the band, we're just going to get Johnny Brown ready now. Manchester, you ready for some Johnny Brown action? We're going to have Johnny Brown, then we've got Shaun Ryder still to come. We've got Dave Ryan, Brian Gorman, Glove playing live, and the one and only Tommy Fury is in the building. We're going to be having a chat to him about his career and things like that. But I think we are nearly ready for some more live music action. Don't forget, this is the 9th edition of MMTV. If you have missed any of the other episodes, all of them, the full things, are now live on MMTV YouTube. Yes, you don't need to miss absolutely any. How are we doing, Johnny? Will you please make some noise for one and only Mr. Johnny Brown?
Yes. I don't see it getting no noise out of my guitar though yet. Blow the roof up. I'm going to do 2 quickies here anyway. The band will be on in a bit. He's a scamming man. I said he's a scamming man. He's a scamming man. He scam you while he can. He scammed the lives out of the palms of my hand. I said he ain't the one. Got his indicators on. He ain't the one. He ain't the one. There's no guitar. How many? I said how many? Turn the guitar up. Yeah. How many? I suppose have you got? I used to set the trend round it too many, I forgot. Sound steady, so for show. His knuckles, broken nose, handcuffed 2 lampposts. And I stood back and I looked down at my shoes. I stood back and I looked down at my shoes. And I thought for a minute and I looked up at the moon and the stars. They don't seem that far. You can get them if you want. Go get the keys to your car. Throw it up without a full center wheel. Smash it out. Smash it up. Smash it up. Smash it up. Now he's got so much baggage. I said I got so much baggage. I got so much baggage, my attendants are cabbage. The girls are wet and screaming and the boys are getting ratty. Can they see there ain't no vacancy around here? Oh my dear. I stood back and I looked down at my shoes. I stood back and I looked down at my shoes. And I thought for a minute and I looked up at the moon and the stars. They don't seem that far. You can get them if you want. Go get the keys to your car. He drove right up without a full center wheel. Smack it up. Smack it up. Smash it up. Smash it up. One quick one. I'm going to dedicate this one to Shaun because he's very much a bouncing bomb to me. Jimmy Lee, Chip and Grease set fire to the school canteen. All the children had to leave. They missed school for the day. Teachers still got paid. Ivan the Terrible looks after some animals, turkeys and Highland cattle. He sells them for their meat. He's a farmer on his feet. So make it sour with it. Sitting on the railway line, scaring all the passers-by. Stars and stripes flash in their eyes, scared the kids off the bus. The driver gave no fuss. Lives his life so dangerously. Goes by the name of American Steve. Keeps some hammers up his sleeve. He's a man you'd like to meet. But don't give him no cheek. Don't give him no cheek. We won't forget your face. No, we won't forget your face. Sit and watch the world all day. And when you have done one, you'll go like the bouncing bomb. And you'll bounce, 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 and you'll free the damned. When you have to go, when you're dead and gone, the bouncing bomb will be remembered. John the landlord takes no slack. He don't care if you never come back. Sits down with a black bin bag. It's full of CDs. I'll give you one for free. Hazel sits by the bar, drinking beer and that vodka. Has to sneak out for her tie. She thinks nobody knows she smokes, but little does she know. Little do we know. We won't forget your face. No, we won't forget your face. Sit and watch the world all day. And when you have done one, you'll go like the bouncing bomb. And you'll bounce, 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 and you'll free the down. When you have to go, when you're dead and gone, the bouncing bomb will be remembered. Walks the roads all day, lost the house, she lost her way. Scarf, coat and an anorak, she's looking for her man. She knows she never can. Don't forget about Steve Amin, kept his money in a Somberdine. He'd been shaking money trees, he was an entrepreneur, but no one really cared. They just sit back and stare. Thanks very much.
MMTV Volume 9, make some noise for the legend that is Johnny Brown. Johnny's going to go in the dressing room and not do what all rock and rollers do and be back out with the band in a bit, yeah, Twisted Wheel. Okay, this is MMTV Volume 9. We are live from Marley, Mancunia Studios in Manchester. We've got the best looking studio audience we've ever had. And we have got some of the greatest people in Manchester on the show tonight. Next up is a man who needs no introduction whatsoever. From the Happy Mondays and Black Grape, a true Manchester legend, MMTV Volume 9. Will you please welcome Mr. Shaun William Ryder? He's off to Australia tomorrow. He's just checking his flight tickets. Check he's got them ready. Come on, Shaun. Hey. Here he is, everyone, Shaun Ryder. Shaun Ryder, everybody, live on MMTV Volume 9. How's it going, mate? All right?
Yeah, it's going good, yeah. I'm breathing. I'm still alive, so...
It's important, isn't it? Off to Australia tomorrow. Listen, you've got your greatest hits tour coming up soon. It starts in Inverness in October, finishes in Lincoln in December. You're in Manchester at the Academy on the 21st of November. I'm probably telling you this, aren't I? You know what I mean? Why a greatest hits tour now? Why is the right time to do it now?
Because we've done Bummed, we've done 24-hour Party People one, we've done fucking Call the Cops one, so it's the greatest hits one. We'll make one up for next time now.
New album. It's about time anyway. Listen, so you've got the greatest hits tour coming up. You just mentioned like you've done the Bum tour, you know, 24-hour Party People tour and all that. How do you prepare now for a tour compared to 30 years ago?
I watch Netflix. And then after that, I put on the news, find out what's going on, and I go to fucking bed. That's my preparing.
Do you know what? We had Bez on the other week and we were talking to him. Obviously, back in the...
Bez is still Bez, and you throw Bez out at 15,000 feet and he'll land on a fucking trampoline, you know. Bez is still there, you know, representing the older, wiser man, you know, in his 50s and still likes to party, you know. I look like Uncle Fester, I go to bed.
Listen, we were saying, though, back in the day, you would have looked out from the stage when you were out with the Mondays, and everyone would be dancing about off their heads and all that now. When you look out, everyone's a bit older, a bit more sensible, got the kids and that with them. How does it feel knowing that you're influencing a new generation as well as like us lot from back in the day?
Well, we're very lucky, you know what I mean? I mean, our audience goes from eight years old to 80 odd years old. I mean, mine and Bezzy sort of fucking dips into reality television, brought a whole new audience, you know what I mean? So we get a lot of the young uns, we already had the mums and dads, we get the granny and granddads, we get a lot, especially at festivals. It's a real mixture, you know, and our lot are all like Sun readers and Guardian readers. You know, we've got a real wide range.
When you look back at them reality programmes,
Neck, you can afford 2 mics. I know you can. You can. Come on. You can. Come on, Neck. More mics. Right, okay. Coca-Cola are good at that, you know.
some kind of Coke's good at it. Listen, you've got a new book coming out in March. Called Wrote for Luck. It's like some lyrics you've picked from, you know, all your stuff and that. What's the reason behind this book? Why have you decided to do it?
Okay, really, I couldn't really give a fuck, right? I mean, if it was up to me, you know, it's just, I've sort of got other shit that I can get on with. And the book thing, I mean, really, my pal Luke Brainbox, who's a journalist and you know, sort of an ultra sort of brainy boffin, you know, he wanted to do a book with my lyrics in, you know, and it's so I thought I didn't really want to do it, and then he mentioned that, you know, there's some money, and then I sort of went, okay, I'll do it. And then it was Luke really that decided what words went in there, what songs and what lyrics. You know, we sort of, you know, I put that one in. You know, there's no Hallelujah in there. There's no Fat Neck in there. You know, there's none of them songs. But they're the ones that he picked, and I discussed it with him. Then he changed my mind. You know, and I just let him get on with it anyway. You know, I was getting paid, so fuck it. Sorry, it's so bland, innit? I'm just so fucking horrible and obnoxious, but you know what I mean? And actually, one of the things is you can look at some lyrics, right, you know, that are really big hit songs, and then you read them, and it's like, I love you, and he loves it, and you look shit. Mine, which are, you know, just waffling on about fucking absolutely all sorts of shit, actually look really good on paper. So, you know, hey, I'm a thespian.
Do you know what you are? You are a true Manchester poet. And what you're saying is a lot of the songs we hear are like, love this, love that. Your lyrics still, you know, relate to people. You're bringing a book out. No, I know that. But a lot of your lyrics obviously still relate to people. And the fact that a book's coming out with them 30 years on shows that when you were writing these songs back in the day, writing down these lyrics.
You know what my biggest sort of favourite thing was about this book? When you arrived at our gaff for me to sign, because you got to sign about 1,000 of them, right, to give to the punters and that. And when it arrived, there's a fucking big fuck-off penguin on the stamp and on the boxes. And I'm going, we're on Penguin Books. You know, even though it's Faber or whatever, it's still distributed through Penguin. So the best thing for me is that, you know, I'm working with Penguin. Fucking great.
But what I was going to ask you, right, was when you were writing these lyrics back in the day to all the big hits, the great album tracks and all that, did you think back then that these are good lyrics, these, in 30 years' time, they're still going to be meaning something and you're going to be writing a book? Did you know there was something about them lyrics back then?
Well, I definitely knew there was something about them, you know, they just really did. I mean, if you look at 24-Hour Party People and that tune, when we wrote that in 86, I mean, when you're writing something like that, and at the time everyone's sort of doing something a bit different, I mean, really, if we'd have been 10 years later, I mean, when we started off, white guys didn't fucking rap for a start, you know what I mean? The nearest you had to that was Bob Dylan, you know, in the way that Bob delivered shit, right? So I always sort of went for the way Bob did because I wasn't a singer. So if we'd have been a decade later, we'd have been a totally different band anyway, especially when all the electronic shit came out. So one, you sort of knew that you've got something, but it really wasn't appreciated at the time as much as it should have been.
I think that's.
That sounds really big-headed.
I think that's shown in the way that even back then and right now, people don't say Shaun Ryder the Manchester songwriter; they call him the Manchester poet.
Well, yeah, are a lot of other things. I mean, one thing I've never had is a good relationship with the fucking Manchester Evening News. I mean, back in the day, right, the Evening News used to buzz about. And we'd sort of bump into their journals and we'd say that, look, there's this shit that's going to happen now. You know, there's this drug called ecstasy, and there's this old scene going on, right? You know, there's only 4 of us in this club at a weekend, but it's going to go massive. and they just fucking blanked it. And it wasn't until it kicked off then you sort of got a bit of an influence. And even the guy that came on to us from the Evening News was a fucking Cockney, Andy Spinoza, right? He was a London kid who got on to us and then started writing about it. So we sort of get a bit fucking slagged off. That's because we don't have a good relationship with the Evening News, and they really should, because we are really an arty bunch of fuckers.
Can I just tell you, Rowetta's just been on social media and put a photograph on of the Manchester Evening News today promoting your tour.
Well, yeah, because they've just been fucking paid.
Listen, you've done all these amazing albums. You're without a doubt one of the most important bands in Manchester. You're a Manchester poet. You've got the greatest hits tour coming out. One thing that everyone watching at home and in this room want to know. Northern. What are the chances of a new Happy Mondays album after this greatest hits tour?
I mean, the thing about that is, Alan McGee wants a new Mondays album. What Alan wants, he usually gets. When the Black Grape album came out, that should have been a Mondays album. The problem is that, you know, we've got 6 people in the Mondays that have all got an equal say. And you've got Bez that just totally drifts around the planet doing what he wants to do. You've got our kid who lives in LA with the LA set. You've got Gaz in Canada climbing fucking mountains. So it's a bit more difficult with 6 of us who's all got an equal say to do something. So you go, oh, well, fuck that, I'll go and do a Black Grape album. So there will be a new Mondays album, but, you know, when you know, well.
Happy Grape. Listen, right, you've just sold us what the rest of the band do in the spare time when you're not touring. What does Shaun Ryder do in his spare time?
Netflix. Amazon. You know what? I've got 2 new habits right now. It used to be, you know, the drugs and all that lot, and the rock and the smack and everything else. But now I've got this habit. It's called ASOS. I can buy something every day. No, I fucking pay ASOS. I can't. You know, when you see it, oh, fuck, it's only, fuck, I'll have that. Oh, there's another one, oh, I'll have that. So I'm addicted to ASOS and Amazon. I just buy shit, you know what I mean? Because I get thrilled with something coming through the letterbox every day for me, and it's new. And you say, oh, it's all right, you know what I mean? But I'm just addicted to buying shit on the internet.
What was the last thing you bought on the internet?
From ASOS? Yeah, just a load of gear, because ASOS gear is really well made, you know, the stuff that they make themselves, right? They use the same material as fucking Ralph Lauren, really. You know what I mean? All in China, the fucking night shift goes on, the morning shift comes in, and it's all the same shit. Well, we never actually wore that, you know. All those photographs of Joe Blogs that we did, I'm actually in fucking Hugo Boss. Shammy was a good mate of Tony Wilson, so that's how all that came about. Oh, yes. Yeah, Tony. Tony gave me one of Tony's best bit of advice. Well, his bit of advice that he gave me was, look, if you share everything equally in a band, don't do what the Smiths done. Don't do what you are. Don't do that. What you've got to do is share everything equal, right? If you write a song, it doesn't matter. Share that out with everybody, and it'll stop all the fucking interfighting. You'll all be together. What a load of fucking bollocks that was. But Tony was great. I mean, he really was. He's brilliant. He was a brilliant businessman, and he really saw a lot of this shit. If Tony, it's like, where would Tony be now? Well, everyone's got to sell out someday for the money you get older and wiser. So Tony would probably be sat next to fucking Simon Cowell on the X Factor, and he's fingering a fucking multi-million-dollar business, really.
If I could just go back a little bit, next time you're on ASOS, if you could buy us another microphone, do you know what I mean? All these people in here have bought your albums for years and years. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what? We've just touched upon it. Tony Wilson would have been 69 today. We've got a couple of pictures of him up here with us today. What would your life have been like without Tony Wilson?
A little bit different than it is, really, you know. A little bit different. I'd be probably sat next to Pat Ward.
Hey, I've got a question. That picture next to Shaun, tell us a story about that.
Right, we've got a picture here next to Shaun. Tell us about this story. Where's this one from?
Well, that was in the 90s, and I have absolutely no fucking idea, because I can't remember the 1990s. I really can't. I can remember the 1960s, and I was, 7 or 8 when that ended, and I can remember that better than the fucking 90s.
Well, it's all right. Anson, who runs MMTV, probably can't remember where he fucking got it from.
That was in the bus in the hold at Glastonbury. That was in where you pack your bags in a bus.
In fact, that's one of them. That's fake news, isn't it? That one.
Listen, we know you're off to Australia tomorrow. You've got the greatest hits tour coming up, which I'm sure everyone watching and everyone in here is going to. You've got loads and loads of stuff coming up. Good luck with the book that comes out in March. But seriously, thank you for joining us on MMTV. Shaun Ryder. So this is what it is all about, MMTV. This is the 9th edition. We have all sorts of people on. We've got sports stars, rock and roll stars, live bands. And one thing we do every single show is we have an inspirational speaker on. Tonight, we have got Mr. Dave Ryan. Dave Ryan, where are you, Dave? Is he around tonight? It's motivational speaker for MMTV 9. Hiya, Dave. Come up here, man. Okay, MMTV Volume 9, we have got another guest here now. This is Dave Ryan, who is tonight's motivational speaker. He's going to tell us a little bit about his life and stuff like that. So first of all, can we have a little bit of quiet in the studio, please? We'll just let Shaun get out. Still got live music coming up in a bit from Glove and Twisted Wheel. This is MMTV Volume 9 live from Marley, Mancunia Studios in Manchester. And I think we are now ready for our next guest. If we can have a little bit of quiet in the studio, please. Will you make some noise for a man with a very, very special story to tell? Tonight's motivational speaker, MMTV 9. Will you please welcome Dave Ryan? First of all, I'm not going to do too much speaking now. Dave, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a bit of a fucking hard act to follow after Shaun, innit? Straight away, stuck for words. Thank you, mate. So, Carl's an old friend of mine, Carl Power. He asked me to come in and do a little bit of a talk about my life. So, I mean, basically, I'm 54 years old. I was born in Moss Side. I was raised in Hume. I'm friends with Shaun's brother, Paul, actually. Paul and I go back a long time. I used to use drugs. I used drugs till... Yeah, no, I'm not joking. I wish I fucking was, actually. I started off using drugs in the early days when heroin got introduced into the streets of Moss Side. 1981, I took heroin for the first time, and my life just went downhill pretty much from there, really. So, as a result of the drugs, I woke up in all kinds of places: prison cells, police cells, hospitals, fucking mental health wards, on park benches, fucking in the streets in the middle of nowhere. I do a lot of outreach today, so I work with homeless people, try to help them, and my heart goes out to them because when I'm walking around the streets of Manchester, a lot of them places where I'm kind of reaching out to people are places where I've been on the bones of my arse.
Can I just ask, the lifestyle you were telling us about then would have been a downward spiral for a lot of people. You've bounced your way back up. What was the turning point in your life that made you turn yourself around and get to the place you're at now? What was the turning point?
Okay. So the turning point was 2000 was my last time in jail. I was in Strangeways, and I tried to top myself. I'd had enough, and that was the third time. I'd OD'd twice on purpose, but got brought back round. Third time I tried to hang myself in Strangeways, and it was just because I'd just fucking had enough. Everyone had wiped their hands of me. My mum closed the door in my face when I turned up at her house one night. My family didn't want anything to do with me. They were all ashamed of me, and I thought, what's the point? There's nothing to live for. So I tried to top myself, and it fucking failed. I couldn't even kill myself properly. And I woke up in a pile on the floor in the cell, and I had this weird sense that this isn't my time. that something is meant for me. And that night, I wrote to a rehab up in Stockport, and I asked them for help and give me a bit of a squeeze and let me go to the rehab. And I went to the rehab in 2000, and I've never looked back since, thank God.
One thing I want to pick up on there is you just said, you know, the place you were at, you wrote the letter. If you'd not wrote that letter, it could have been a totally different story. Do you feel that there was nobody around to help you that perhaps should have been? If you'd not wrote that letter, it could have been a totally different story.
Yeah, to some degree. I mean, you know, I can't take away from the people that were around at the time. I had a good probation officer, and he was constantly trying to get me in rehab, but I just wasn't ready. I had a good drug worker, and she was always, again, trying to get me into rehab, but I just wasn't ready. But something at this point made me feel ready. So I kind of went through the process of being in rehab, 6 months and then 3 months aftercare. And then I went back and started doing voluntary work for the rehab, and then I started working for the rehab.
And how long ago was this?
So I started working for them about 17 and a half years ago. And then I made my way up from a volunteer to a support worker to a deputy manager, then a manager, then a head of service. So I ended up running the service within 3 years. And helped a lot of people. Helped a lot of people to kind of go through the same process that I'd gone through. I was working in the prison, so I'd got clearance to work in Strangeways. I did loads of street work. I still do loads of street work. So I now manage another rehab over in Oldham. We have a 16-bed residential rehab that I manage, helping people, you know, kind of go through. That's called Turning Point. So it's a national service turning point. There's lots of community services, and there's only 2 residential rehabs, and that one of them is the one that I run in Oldham, and then the other one's up in Cumbria. And I also do lots of other stuff. So I do lots of work for suicide prevention. So bearing in mind my story, I do some work with an organisation called Andy's Man Club, and that's talking to men about, you know, that stuff that a lot of men just don't fucking talk about, because I was brought up in a big Irish family where you didn't talk about feelings because you got fucking battered for it if you did. And it was, if you ever came home after having a fight on the street and you'd been battered, you got battered in the house, and then you got dragged back out into the street and made to fight again. So I was brought up in a household where you just don't talk about feelings, and you don't get vulnerable. So now, kind of doing the work that I do with men and helping them to talk about that stuff that we all carry, the shame and the guilt and the fucking the front, you know. And I still do a lot of outreach to all of the old school that I used to hang around with, you know. So I'm quite fortunate to be able to do that, really.
You've turned your life around in a way that a lot of people couldn't do, and it's amazing. You're looking great, you're sounding great, and you're changing a lot of people's lives with the experiences that you've had. When you go back to Strangeways and see people who are perhaps in the place you were years and years ago, how does that make you feel?
Sad, really. I've lost quite a few friends over the years that we've buried, and that have either been nutted off or lifed off, you know, and they're kind of behind the door now, and they could be where I am. For those guys that it does make a difference with, I couldn't be prouder. That's worth more than the money I get paid is a bonus. I've always said my job is like, it's nothing like the same kind of wages as a footballer, but it's that kind of job. It's something I love. I remember an old phrase, I can't remember who said it, but if you find a job you love, you never have to work again. And that's how I feel. So I get up in the morning, I kind of go to work, I look forward to go to work. I don't feel like it's a job.
It must be a great feeling as well, knowing that, you know, you're changing people's lives, and there's people walking the streets of Manchester now that perhaps if they hadn't met you, perhaps wouldn't be walking the streets of Manchester. So can you make some noise, please, for Dave? One other thing you're involved with that you're not touched upon, or so I believe you're involved with, is a thing called A Band of Brothers, which helps young lads around Manchester who are involved with gang crime and gun crime. What's your work involved with them? What do you do with them?
So what we try and do is we try and mentor young men. So we've got a group of guys who are all around about the same age as me. And and we're trying to take those younger lads under our wing from between 18 to 25 that went off the rails. I went off the rails when I was 15, 16, but for those young lads that are getting caught up in all the peer pressure and all the kind of having to fit in and all the competition nonsense, we're just kind of taking them under our wing, and we're trying to teach them a different way, how to be better men, how to be better dads, how to be better sons, how to be better members of the community generally, really.
You never know what's going on in someone's life, and we've got a studio audience here, we've got a lot of people watching at home. If anybody's listening to you now and watching thinking, that's how I feel, that's how I am in my life, what advice would you give somebody who is really, really low at the moment, like you've been? What advice would you give them if they're watching this at home now?
First and foremost, I'd say talk to someone, because there's no shame in talking. There's nothing to be scared of. All the old bollocks that we were brought up with, or the conditioned thinking, we need to break that cycle first and foremost. If you've heard of this conversation through Marley Mancunia, then feel free to get in touch with Carl or any of the guys here. And Carl's got my contact details. I would be more than happy to spend time with you, and for free. I wouldn't fucking charge a penny. I'd be more than happy to come and have a brew and, try and help, try and reach out, really.
MMTV is quite often all about music and sports and having a good time and the best things in life, which are music and sports. But, listening to someone like yourself, it really does show real life. You are a massive inspiration to people. You've changed a lot of people's lives. You're looking and sounding great. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on MMTV. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Ryan. So we do have a lot of fun on MMTV, but every time we do a show, we do and try and have a little bit of a motivational speaker. And it's people like that's real life, innit? You know what I mean? Sometimes things aren't real life. What Dave's been through is real life. So it's a great, great pleasure and honour to have him with us tonight. Okay, MMTV Volume 9. If you are watching at home, thank you for tuning in. We are live from Marley Mancunia Studios in Manchester. Please do share this. Let's get as many people watching as we possibly can. Next up, we have got some live music for you. This next band you are going to watch now on MMTV, Louder Than War, called them the best new band of 2019. Drowned in Sound told them something entirely revolutionary, and they're here to play for us live tonight. MMTV, will you please put your hands together and make some noise for the amazing Glove?
I just want to dedicate a song to the Queen of Rock and Roll, Rosetta Tharpe, so thank you very much, thank you.
Music is medicine. This song is called Death is Rebirth, because every fucking moment it is. Yes, lads, come on. We have arrived at Pride for 1 night of sleep, but something's missing like a light switch out of reach. The body lulls you, but the mind and heart are light. Like I can carry your pushes against the tide. You know they warned you that dreams are best in bands. You know they scorned you for not buying pre-packed plans. You conjured softly through the fabric of this dream, sensing self-awareness for the transformed into steel. Retain the grain, shrug off the surf. The ship I say make Moscow thinking death is rebirth. Thinking death is rebirth. Thinking death is rebirth. Thinking death is rebirth. Rebirth. Retain the grain, shrug off the surf. The ship I say make Moscow thinking death is rebirth. Thinking death is rebirth. Thinking death is rebirth. Thinking death is rebirth. Rebirth. Soft drinks, so cool beverages for the sinners. He cries for the sinners. The marvels, the torments, we all do unravel the cries, we're all beginners. Drag on both feet and lungs, prepare to stand as winners. To stand as winners. But you're making everything better, sustainable. No rewarding us, no rewarding us. Need to cough this all up, need to burn this all out. My soul is a landslide, the new world is now. Need to cough this all up, need to burn this all out. My soul is a landslide. like the new world is retain the grain. Shrug off the surf, the ship has said it must go. He can get the easy bird, he can get the easy bird, he can get the easy bird, he can get the easy bird. Retain the grain, shrug off the surf, the ship has said it must go. He can get the easy bird, he can get the easy bird, he can get the easy bird, he can get the easy bird. Connect addict. I need you now, anyone, to cling to this thread. The soul dome. I'm not here. You're not here. Like lost animal, sit by your picture and pray. I'm not here. You're not here. Like lost animal, sit by your picture and connect addict. I need you now, anyone to cling to this thread. The soul dome. I'm not here. You're not here. Like lost animals. Retain the grace. Shrug off the surf. The ship has said it must go. Get the easy bird. Get the easy bird. Get the easy bird. Get the easy bird. Retain the grace. Shrug off the surf. The ship has said it must go. Get the easy bird. Get the easy bird. Get the easy bird. Get the easy bird. Who are ya?
All right. How's it going? Oh, cheers. Joining in.
What your man was saying before is absolutely right. Don't be scared of being vulnerable. Don't be scared of being loved. Love is the most powerful fucking thing. Oh yeah.
Come on.
Take the bass amp on. That's the most powerful fucking thing. Ah yeah. This song is called Escalator. Last night
Let's hear it for Glove. You always bully presenters. Right, listen, come here, you two. One thing I normally like to do is ask bands where their inspiration comes from, but I think it's safe to say you totally have your own. What music do you listen to at home?
Anything that's sincere.
When you two are together, writing stuff and all that kind of stuff, where do your lyrics come from? What are you thinking about?
To be honest with you, like your mate was saying before, I think we've reached a time, and I think we can all feel it, where it's beyond the old bullshit. It's time to evolve, and it happens fucking slowly, so it feels fucking shit. But facing the shadow within yourself is the only way to face the shadow without, and the only way we can stop this cycle of bullshit and hate and otherness and get to a place where we can all party together. And that's what we write about, because that's all there is to write about.
And she's sure about that, let me tell you. Listen, if you want to see Glove in action in Manchester on the 2nd of March, they're at Partisan in Manchester, and on the 8th of June, they're supporting the Membranes at the Ritz. John Robb and Louder Than Warm, massive fans of the band. If people want more information on you and want to come to one of the gigs, where do they go?
Right, what you want to do, yeah, family, come here. Come here, family, right? Nowadays, you get everything given to you on a fucking plate. So if you want to know where we live inside the internet, make a fucking effort. Thank you.
2 songs, bully the presenter, kick fuck out of the drums, and then nick the mic. Will you please make some noise for the absolutely unbelievable, inspirational Glove? That is what MMTV is all about, Glove. Make sure you do follow them on all the social media sites. And like I say, on the 2nd of March, they're at Partisan in Manchester. And on the 8th of June, they're supporting the Membranes at the Ritz. Okay, we have got another special guest now. He's a writer, he's an artist, he's an actor, he's a theatre producer. And if I could just show you this as well. He's also drawn this picture of Tony Wilson, who would have been 69 today. Will you please put your hands together and make some noise for Mr. Brian Gorman? Brian. How you doing, mate? I'm all right. Take a seat, man. Welcome to MMTV Volume 9, live from Marley, Mancunia Studios. So you are a writer, an artist, an actor, a theatre producer, originally born in Wigan. If we just have some noise in the audience, please, because like I say, this does go out at home. Thank you. So Brian, right, you were growing up in Wigan. What got you into the arts?
Well, I always wanted to sit in the studio and just look at people and just go, hey, I'm sitting on a chair, look at me! I just want to say, hello, Miles Platting! Yes! Rock and roll! Question, yeah, great. Why was I born in Wigan? What got me into the arts? Yes. Very sad child, lived on a really shit council estate in Wigan. Our family were the poorest family around ever known to man. I just used to watch telly, stuff like that, comics and stuff. Never got into music. This is what's really weird tonight, because I'm looking at all you lot, and you're all steeped in music, aren't you? And I wasn't. Ask me anything about Nat King Cole, Jim Reeves, people like that. That's the only records my dad let me listen to when I was a kid. But the arts is a way out if you, one, don't want to do a proper job, or more especially, you want to do something that connects with everybody else. You know, write, draw, paint, it brings your inner self out. And if at the same time you can make a living from it and other people enjoy it, that's brilliant. What's not to love about it, apart from the lack of money?
You're obviously into the arts, and you're saying about everyone in here being into music and stuff. I'm going to bring up a couple of the things you've done in a minute, what will relate to people in here. But you talked about Wigan a lot, and before we get onto the serious stuff, growing up in Wigan, what's your favourite pie?
Meat and potato, of course. Not potato and meat. It doesn't matter the fucking percentage. It's meat and potato, because it rolls. See, Shaun would know this. He's a poet. Meat and potato. Potato and meat. It just, you know, it's not the same, is it? I love the fact that the International Pie Eating Championships are in Wigan, and they're in the Clarence pub, which I spent some time in the early 80s when I was about 17 or 18, shyest kid on the planet. Me and my mate were standing in the corner drinking pints of bitter that we didn't like because we thought, oh, that's what lads drink, isn't it? You know, looking over at women going, go on, they're looking at us, they're not. Looking at us, they're not. They're not looking. Go and talk. They've gone. Fucking hell.
Now, you've had an amazing career. Everyone's wrecking everything today. You've had an amazing career so far, which we haven't got time to talk about. We've only got 10 minutes. We've spoke about growing up. We spoke about getting into arts. We've spoke about pies, meat and potato. The next thing I want to talk about is something that a lot of people in this room will relate to. The amazing... What's that?
I just happened to have brought a book with me.
And I was just happened to mention that this is the man behind the play New Dawn Fades, which was about Joy Division. And how did he know I was going to ask that? Which was about Joy Division and Manchester. This is the man that is responsible for it. It was at the Dance House Theatre, wasn't it? If memory serves correctly. So what made you do that? You do loads and loads of great stuff. But like I say, New Dawn Fades is something that everyone in here will relate to. Where did that come about, doing a play about Joy Division and Manchester?
It's fate, destiny, magic. To be honest, I didn't know Joy Division until about 10 years ago. I'm not joking. 1980s in Wigan, yeah, New Order, all the clubs and all that, brilliant. 10 years ago, I moved to moved to Salford from Wigan. And I had an idea to do a graphic novel on the history of Salford and Manchester. I always like to find out what's actually happened on the spot that we're in right now. And I started looking up all the old shows that I used to watch, Granada Reports, and then I came across Joy Division on Granada Reports, you know, where Tony Wilson comes on and goes, this is a programme that previously brought you the Beatles and the Buzzcocks, amongst other things. Today, we find you a new band. They're called Joy Division. This is Shadow Play. And I watched it, and I literally sat there and just went, what the fuck? It was like hilarious and terrifying at the same time. And they immediately became my favourite band. So I thought, let's work in Joy Division into the history of Manchester. And I don't know if you know graphic novelist Alan Moore, created Watchmen, V for Vendetta, all that. From Hell, he twisted the entire history of London and England into the tale of Jack the Ripper. And I kind of tried to do it with Joy Division. And one major thing I found out that John Dee, Dr. D, Queen Elizabeth I's astrologer, occultist, he actually came to Manchester from London in about 1590-something, and he was the custodian of the church that is now the cathedral, and there's a little bridge, hanging bridge it's called. It's not a bridge anymore, but he must have walked across that bridge into the town of Manchester, as it was then in the 1500s, and the famous Joy Division picture by Kevin Cummings in that alleyway in the snow, Ian Curtis and Joy Division would have been crossing a literal bridge, but at a different time. It's the green room, and they're all right. They're all celebs in there. So Joy Division and Dr. John Dee were crossing the same bridge, but in different times. And that was one of the things about the play, is to look at the entire history of a place, because Ian Curtis was really into time and place overlapping, and in Shadow Play, where all roads meet, to the centre of the city where all roads meet. That's what I tried to do in the play, and it was really scary the first time we did it on stage, because I thought, is anybody going to be interested in history of Manchester weaved into Joy Division? And thank God. And do you know what? I nearly said thank fuck, but thank fuck, I didn't swear. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord that people liked it.
Getting into Joy Division and doing this play the way you did you find that introduced you to a lot more Manchester music and stuff that came with it?
Not really. I'm always been into film soundtracks, John Barry, stuff like that, Jerry Goldsmith. But I've only been to about 12 gigs in my life, right? And tonight is about number 13 or 14. And I've loved the three bands we've seen. The first one, what they call Afghan Sandal or something. What is that? Marketing, I can't even remember. Right. But they were all just brilliant. I'm studying the room thinking, why wasn't I doing this when I was 15? Because I was scared off. I thought everybody would be horrible and that you couldn't hear anything because of the screeching. And it's not. Everybody's fucking brilliant. I'm living my life backwards. Do you know, we had... Get off, I've got the microphone. We had... We had Shaun Ryder on earlier, and I'm sure there's a few people in here who've kind of started off the age of 15 taking stuff and getting out of their heads. I'm doing it backwards. I'm doing it now. Yes, I can't jump over a fence anymore, but I fucking love it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brian, the new music scene in Manchester at the moment is unbelievable, and please do hang about, because coming up in about 15 minutes' time is one of the most important bands of the last generation in Manchester, Twisted Wheel. They're going to be on stage.
Thank you. Sorry, before I go, New Dawn Fades, the stage show. We are doing it again this September. We're going out to London. We're doing it at the Dance House. We're doing it in Liverpool. Not quite sure where in Liverpool. Sheffield, Leadmill. And the graphic novel is obviously out now, you know. Do you know that? See, have you noticed? Because I'm an actor, I didn't even let that faze me, you know. I kind of thought, it's gone. What else have I done? Oh, yeah, I won the Salford Star Award for Best Fucking Performer last year for One Man Bond. Yes.
Hang on a minute, I'm going to ask you about that. Chill out, man. I'm going to ask you about that. It's on my notes. New Dawn Fades, Dance House Theatre, September, yeah? Make sure you go and see it. Right, so that's that. Let's move on to the next thing. As you've just sold everyone, even though it was my job, last year you won the Salford Star Award for your show One Man Band. Now, let me get this right. This show, what he's done, what he's won an award for, is every James Bond film into a 60-minute show. What's all that about?
See, I thought he was winding up the interview, and I thought, I've got to get the plugs in. What's it all about? It's I love Bond films. I've loved them all my life. And after doing New Dawn Fades, which has got 10 actors in, a lot of equipment, it's cost a fortune to put on. Me and my co-producer, Giles Bastow, we've got nothing. We've got fuck all. So every time we do the show, we just rely on the tickets. So, you know, we just pray to God that we sign a contract, it's 900 quid to do a show at the Leeds City Varieties, that we will get at least 900 quid in tickets, and it's always a risk. So after doing it a year or two ago, when we both nearly had a nervous breakdown, he tried to punch me, but he's only that big, and I've got longer legs, so I moved away. And I thought, right, I'm going to do something dead simple. What do I know about every James Bond film? One Man Bond, I can do it in a telephone box with no lights, no equipment. And there's only one profit share.
See, what do you do? How do you do all these James Bond films in 1 hour? How does it work out? Do you pick out certain sections of the film? How does it work? Give us a clue. There have been 24 official Bond films, so you just condense each one down to about 2.5 minutes. Obviously, my personal favourites last about 3 minutes, whereas my least favourites last about 1.5 minutes. I just condense them down to the essence, the one-liners that everybody knows. Took me forever to do Daniel Craig. He's the one person I've not seen. I can't, because I have to, you know, well, you just don't move your face, and you just move your lip like that. And you just go, the name's Bond, James Bond, which is a little different from Roger Moore. But Roger is much more animated. My name is Bond, James Bond. If anyone wants to see this show, have you got any plans of taking it out on the road so anyone can see it?
Last year it provided me with a bloody, a bit of an income, which I loved. But some twat, who I will not mention, Bradley, I will not mention him, in Macclesfield, I will not mention him, because it's not fair, is it really? Said, I'll take your show on and I'll promote you and I'll do this and this. So I didn't do anything for 2 months. You know, you have to book your shows. I didn't do anything, and he comes back after 2 months and says, oh, sorry about this, I haven't done anything. It's like, oh, fuck off. So, yes, I'm going to do it. Can I just say that I've had 4 cans of, 4 cans of 1664, plus some brownies made by a lovely lady from Oxford called Annabelle. And these brownies had a special ingredient. And as I've said before, I'm living my life backwards. And I am just going to be I'm 55 and I can't wait to be 56. I can't wait to be 57. If me and Shaun were on here, it's like the fly and the transporter thing, isn't it? You know, we've gone different ways. I'll leave it at that.
So, you've got, apart from like, you know, going smacking up in the dressing room and all that, what's the plans for the future?
My plans for the future is I'm going to take over the fucking world. I just want to say, it's Tony Wilson's birthday today, and Tony Wilson, I drew that. Do you know what? This is from the private collection of the lovely Georgina Robinson. Do you know what? She's so lovely and popular that her initials are on a number of post boxes around the country. It needs to be framed slightly lower because, as most artists do, we plant little clues in the pictures. If you could see a little bit more white space at the top, you will see that it is actually in the shape of an M for Manchester. So, Tony Wilson, at the time regarded as twat, whatever, but he got things moving. Yeah, okay, sorry, wanker. So I got the wording wrong. Okay, but he gets things moving, and you should never be afraid to be a bit pretentious or to show off a bit, to just get stuff done. I loved that lady's speech at the end, the one in black, the more dangerous looking one. Yeah, that was fucking brilliant. I can't remember a word of it, but it was just brilliant. Just fucking get on with it, you cunts.
I think Glove might have a new band member here. Right, listen, the work you do is absolutely amazing. Obviously, we can't sit here and talk about it all night. We've got a show to continue with. If people want more information on your work and what's coming up and where they find it, where do they go?
If you want to know more about me, all you have to do is come up and ask me, or come and ask my beautiful PA, Georgina Robinson. There's a number of flyers around. All you have to do is look at Brian Gorman online. There's a website. Loads of weird stuff from over the years. Do you know, I fucking love this room. This room is brilliant. I've not been to many gigs in my life, but when I came in here, it was like, what? Oh, yeah, him. He looks like a mate of mine. And if he is a mate of mine, he's been in a bad way recently, hasn't he? I don't know. Oh, I'd like to see the person who he met in a dark alleyway. Well, I wouldn't like to see him. I'll take him some grapes. Yeah, it shouldn't be Black Mondays. It should be Happy Grape, shouldn't it? You know. Think about it. Happy Grape, not Black Monday. Happy Grape.
We've had that one. Right, listen. He's had a beer. Thank you so much for joining us on MMTV. Will you please make some noise? He's an artist, an actor, and a theatre producer. That shows what a good artist he is. Will you make some noise, Mr. Brian Gorman?
Thank you. Anyway, I was walking down the road the other day. Man comes up to me, he says, how far to the railway station? I said, 1 mile. He said, 1 mile? I said, 1 mile, roughly speaking.
Brian Gorman. Okay, this is MMTV Volume 9. We are live from Marley, Mancunia studio in Manchester. Still to come, one of the most important bands of the last generation, Twisted Wheel, are going to be live. First of all, though, we move on to our sports section of the show. Will you please put your hands together? I'm not sure where he is. He's in here somewhere. He's in the back. Will you please welcome up to the stage tonight's sportsman, boxer, Tommy Fury. Hi, Tommy, how you doing? Take a seat, man. Tommy Fury, everybody. Cheers for joining us on MMTV Volume 9. First of all, now you come from a pretty well-known family of boxers, obviously. Cousin Huey, your big brother Tyson. Growing up, was it pretty obvious you were going to get into boxing? Is it something you wanted to do? Have you followed suit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, since being 6 and 7 year old, I knew what it was going to be. I was always going out training, I was living in the gyms, and ever since then, I just knew what I was going to be, and I've not took no for an answer. I wanted something, so I went out and got it, and and that's maybe the man I am today. So I'm just going to keep, striving for more. I'm on a good platform now, so it's just about keeping the dedication strong, keep training, and see what happens. You know, God willing, go all the way. And if I didn't think I could, I wouldn't be in the game.
Growing up, did you feel like there were a lot of pressure on that you had to go into the boxing community, or did you just naturally enjoy the fighting and training?
Yeah, I mean, it's the pressure was always going to be there with the last name and that, but it's been there for so long now. You know, it don't really hamper me at all. I was there making my debut in December, and everyone was going on about what about the pressure, and I said, I don't feel there's no pressure on because I've coped with it for so long now. I'm not here to try and live up to anybody else. You know, Tyson's his own man, Huey's his own man. They've done very well, but I'm here for myself. It's my own career. I'm not trying to base myself on anybody else.
You train in Hyde with your coach Ricky Hatton again, who everyone knows. Do you think you have a bit of an advantage there, the fact that everybody knows who you're working with, and someone who's had that much experience in the game? Do you feel that helps you as a boxer?
Yeah, 1,000,000%, because what he don't know about boxing is not worth knowing. So whatever he tells me, I just take. I'm like a sponge. Everything he's telling me, I'm soaking it in the sparring sessions. I'm trying to bring things in what he's telling me to do. And I've been with Ricky now for like 10 months. I've settled in really well, and I feel, in my opinion, most certainly everybody else that's seen me box from then to now, I'm 10 times the man that I was. So if I can do that in such a short space of time, what can I do over the years to come?
I just want to pick up on something you said there. Obviously, we've had boxers on the show who, have tens and tens and tens of amateur fights before they get to the professional one. You only had 12 amateur fights before you made your professional debut in December at Manchester Arena, which you won. 12 amateur fights, first professional one, Manchester Arena, you won it. If I could take you back to December, like I say, you'd not had that many amateur fights, if you don't mind me saying, really. To walk out at the arena like that. Talk us through it. What was it like? What was the experience like that night in Manchester?
Yeah, it was a memory that I'm going to live with for the rest of my life. But like I said before, there was no pressure. I was just enjoying it because I thought there's no point getting nervous about it, because I'm going to be doing it for the next 10, 15 years, God willing. But what a massive stage. I was live on BT Sport, and my first fight was a pay-per-view fight. So words can't describe how I felt in that moment. All my friends and family were there. It was everything I dreamt it would have been, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't expect anything more, and I just want to build on that now. I'm on good platforms. Every time I'm getting out, it's live on TV. They're giving me the platforms. Everyone's giving me these big breaks. So it's up to me now to train really hard and make the most of what I've got. And there's no excuses now. Literally, I have everything put in front of me now from what a boxer could have. I ain't got to complain about nothing. The pedigree's there. The platform's there, the promotional deals are there, all the deals are there. All I've got to do now is show my worth in the ring, and that's exactly what I want to do.
Unbelievable attitude, isn't it? If there's any kids at home watching MMTV thinking I want to get into boxing, what you've done in an unbelievably short space of time is pretty spectacular. If there's any kids watching at home listening thinking how has he done that? What advice would you give them? If someone sat at home now thinking, I want to get into boxing and I want to do it quick, what advice would you give them young kids?
The biggest advice is really just the dedication, because, obviously I'm a young kid myself. All the distractions were there, going out on nights out, going to the town, drinking, this and that. You've just got to stay dedicated at the end of the day. All my friends, they was all going out, they was all drinking. I was the one who stayed in. I was the one who was drinking the water. I was the one getting up at 4 and 5 in the morning going on the runs.
Was that difficult?
Yeah, of course it was difficult, because everybody loves a drink. Well, I do anyway. But you can't just live for now. You've got to look at your future at the end of the day. And I just didn't want to. I don't want an average life. I want to strive for more, because from being a little child, I knew there was something special about me. I never took no for an answer. Whatever I wanted in life, I just went out and got. And that's the same with the boxing. I wanted the boxing, so I'm going out and getting it. I'm not taking no for an answer. And I feel like that's the best thing, And people going out there, a lot of people make excuses because they can't get to where they want to be. But there's no excuse. If you want something bad enough, you will get it. So don't be lazy about it. Go out and do it.
You were just saying then, you were just saying then, you were going out, all your mates were going out, they were all on the beer doing all sorts. You stuck to water. Were there any peer pressure off your friends to be like, go on, have a beer? Or were they all very supportive of what you were doing?
No, they was all very, very supportive, because they all knew.
You would have kicked their heads in.
No. I don't know about that. I think there's too many of them. But they all knew where I was going with it, and I wasn't just going through a phase, and it wasn't a joke for me. I was deadly serious about it. So, I've got the best friends in the world, and it was all very supportive of me. That even outside of the nights out, outside of everything, they was always making sure that I'd been for my run, always making sure that I'd been to the gym. And that's the kind of people that you need to succeed. You need to get rid of all negativity and get positive energy around you, and then you can go all the way. At the end of the day, no positive energies around me. All of it's positive, and it makes me feel good every day. I get up in the morning, enjoy going to the gym. And I'm enjoying my life at the minute, and that's what it's about. It's the same with anybody, no matter what they're doing. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, get out of it, because life's too short to be unhappy.
just listening to you already in a relatively short career, you know, you're a proper inspiration to people, and your way of life is something that a lot of people could take on board. We've spoke about, you know, your amateur fights, your 12 amateur fights, then you had the one at the arena in December, which you won, which was your first professional fight. I've got to ask, what does the future hold? What's next? Have we got any more fights planned? What's coming up?
Yeah, I'm currently in training now. I've got my second pro one on the 23rd of March in Leicester at the Morningside Arena. It's live on BT Sport, so make sure you all tune in. Yeah, and just keep planning, you know, take one fight at a time. But, of course, the end goal is world champion, nothing less. So that's the end goal.
Well, the attitude you've got and the speed you're doing things at the moment is not going to be long, do you know what I mean? And every single one of us in here and watching at home on MMTV really, really wishes you best for the future. It's been an absolute pleasure. And can I just say as well, this is the 9th one we've done. As far as an interview goes, you've been probably my favourite boxer we've had on. Will you make some noise for Mr. Tommy Fiore? What a man. Make sure you're rooting for him in March, yeah? Absolute inspiration to people. Okay, it is time for some more live music. I think the lads are pretty much to get ready. Over the last 30 years or so, Manchester has produced some amazing bands. Some of them have gone on to be absolutely massive. Some of them still play in our favourite music venues. 10 years ago, Twisted Wheel released a debut album which changed a lot of kids' lives. There's still a lot of bands now who are being influenced by these lads. They've had a little bit of time off. Johnny Brown and the lads are back sounding and looking better than ever. Let me tell you this as well. They have been in the studio recording new music. They've been in Vibe Studio recording new music. So soon we can, are you listening to this? We can expect some new Twisted Wheel music soon. How good is that? It is absolutely brilliant to have them back. The lads looking and sounding better than ever. The lads are going to get ready now, do a couple of tunes for us. Don't forget, if I could just remind you as well while the lads are getting ready, MMTV Tour de England. If you fancy it, all you need to do is go to our website, mmtvmcr.com, and all the information will be on there. One other thing, don't forget, if you are listening at home as well, don't forget this is the 9th edition of MMTV. If you have missed any of the other episodes, you can still watch them. They are available on our MMTV YouTube channel, the full things, and we have had some proper top guests as well. The next one is going to be 2 weeks tomorrow. If you start looking on all the social media pages for MMTV Manchester, all of our guests will be announced over the next week or so. But like I say, 2 weeks tomorrow, Thursday the 7th of March, is the next one, live here from Marley Mancunia Studios. Well, I've just kicked that over. I've already brought one today. So once again, do look out for new Twisted Wheel music. The lads have been in the studio recording some new stuff, yeah? So in the next few months, hopefully, they're not going to mind me saying this, they are going to be bringing out some new music and some new tour dates as well. Okay, I think the lads are really ready. MMTV Volume 9 to close the night. Will you please put your hands together for one of the most important bands from Manchester of the last generation. Put your hands together and make some noise. Twisted Wheel!
We'll get there, we'll get there. Alright, cheers for bearing with us. Someone get us a glass of Coke or something like that, please. Right, we're going to do one of our songs that... what's that, mate? I can't hear what you're saying. We're just getting sound sorted out and stuff like that. Are you all ready to go? Ben needs a lager to play. He needs some fuel. Right, anyway, we're doing a very old song, one of the first songs that got Twisted Wheels played on the radio and got us going. It's called She's a Weapon. Reload and fire, keep a nice loud to the real live wire. Hands up, stick 'em up, make a hiccup and you're gonna get cut. She's a weapon, yeah, yeah. She's a weapon, yeah, yeah. She's a weapon. A stitch shut down, surrender to her crown. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Sing your prayers, it's time to die. She's a weapon, yeah, yeah. She's a weapon. Looks like there's a prisoner. Wipe out, stalemate, clean play. I'm definitely don't know where to go. Think it's time to exterminate. She's a weapon. She's a weapon, yeah! She's a weapon, she's a weapon, she's a weapon. She's a weapon, she's a weapon, 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 man, she's a weapon. She's a weapon, she's a weapon, she's a weapon, yeah. Cheers very much. I'd just like to point out that this is not the normal lineup that we play with. Ben's our guitarist, but Harry, our bass player, he's in Dublin having a nice little holiday. So Ben's gone on to the bass today. Hey, now the bass is stopped. Well, you know what? We didn't know he was going to play with us till today. So me and Ben last night, we rehearsed a set acoustic for tonight. And then it's all been thrown out the window now because he said that he could do it. So he's a pain in the arse. What do you want to play? Hey, I wish Shaun was here because this song was inspired by the Happy Monday song Tart Tart. And it's called One Night on the Street. What else could you do? They've left you all alone. The one for place to shelter, so far away from home. Got some clothes out of the closet. You got dressed up, made a night of it. Now you're warm and feeling high. When you're tucked up, you come alive. One night on the street. suit. Back by his side of stolen property, doing things he should not do. There's werewolves somewhere in cabin. You really must think about no way frightened. Forever you'll be there for the night, and I don't wanna die. Walk by on the street. Walk by on the street. Lost yourself, lost yourself, lost yourself. I always lose myself, lost myself. Yeah, I always lose yourself, lost yourself, lost yourself. Lost myself, lost yourself, lost myself, lost myself again. One night on the street, one night on the street, one night on the street. Happy cars and you lose your money, cramping outside in your tummy. Nowhere to shout, so it's raining off. Hotel, hotel, yeah. Cheers very much. We're going to do Show Me. Can we do two more? Can we do two more?
Two more, Johnny. Whatever you want.
Oh, cheers. Cheers very much for watching. Ooh. We're gonna play a. What's feeding back? What's feeding back? Right, we're gonna play you a brand here. So yeah, so this is the first time we've performed it live. Get again. I said I would never tell another lie. Talk the talk, walk the walk to the other side. It's all Scooby-Doo, how do you do? Hello, goodbye. I don't know why you say the wolf house tonight. The morning silence hurts as I lay alone. My new trade chisel my name in my tombstone. How does it feel to sleep in a coffin when your reign is over? So long to the throne. Another year flies by while you're zombified. Teardrops fall from loved ones' eyes. Rivers are flowing and water is red like blood, and the flood leaves the town horrified. Show me the way to your wonders. Show me your magic, your thunderstorms are beautifully warm, plucked by the spark that rumbles the heart. Played like the strings of your heart. No bass. I've seen those bite marks so many times before. Bats, cobras, vampires. People sliver and you run for your life, but there will always be sacrifice. Show me the way to your wonders. Show me your magic, your thunderstorms are beautifully warm, plucked by the heart, rumbles the heart. Like the strings of your heart. Hey! Show me the way to your wonders. Show me your magic, your thunderstorms are beautifully warm, plucked by the heart that rumbles the heart. Yeah. Played like the strings of your heart. Thanks very much. We only did that one last night. Right. That's what you just call winging it. There we go. There we go. You in tune, mate? You stole the sun and it's raining outside. You stole the sun, you ain't giving in to anyone. You stole the sun. You stole the sun. You stole the sun and it's raining outside. You stole the sun, you ain't giving them to anyone. You stole the sun. So I built myself a ladder and I climbed up to the sun. I took with me my sunglasses, I took my water pistol and eventually I shot him. Stuck him in my back, took him down the ladders and he tossed it on my back. And then I hung him in my bedroom, it was nice and hot. I went into my wardrobe, I put on my shades and shorts. Soon in the sunset, and I told the soul. The police came out to ask me and I said I didn't know. You stole the sun. You stole the sun. You stole the sun and it's raining outside. You stole the sun, you ain't giving them to anyone. You stole the sun. It was pitch black outside, no one could see a thing. I stood there with my guitar and I began to sing while everybody else was searching for a torch. I stood in the sunshine, there's no way I'm getting bored. Yes, I'm sipping on a cocktail, took a strawberry split. I hold my glass up in the air, said I love this shit. Sunshine says to me, when will you set me free? A sister angry on my face, no you're all for me. You stole the sun. You stole the sun. You stole the sun and it's raining outside. You stole the sun, you ain't giving them to anybody. You stole the sun. You stole the sun. You stole the sun. Slow it down a bit. Well, I'm making a confession and I don't know why. I had this sudden urge to take the sunlight out of the sky, to keep it for myself, not for anybody else. I got so blind and selfish that I begun to melt. And after about 3 days I burnt out to a crisp. I had to leave the son of God to go and have a piss, to go and get some cream, to see my painful blisters. I ran out to the shop. I hear somebody whisper and they asked me where I've been, and I look like a lobster. I blamed it on my ex, she went to uni and I lost her. She called me on the phone and gave me loads of grief. She says I need to get a life and that I am a thief. Don't know what she clocked me, did really suss me out. Anyway, I gotta go, I got things to sort out. I ran back up the road, I looked up at my house. My window was ajar, Mr. Sunshine I got out. Then darkness became daylight, I felt full of spite. I fell down on my knees, I began to cry. Mr. Sunshine got away, he was shining down his rays. I went and got my ladders and I got him back again. You stole the sun. You stole the sun. You stole the sun and it's raining outside. You stole the sun, you ain't giving it to anyone. You stole the sun. You stole the sun. You stole the sun. You stole the sun, Shady. You stole the sun. You stole the sun and it's raining outside. You stole the sun, you ain't giving out to anyone. I stole the sun from everyone.
Two.
Thanks very much.
Twisted Wheel. Make some noise. MMTV number 9. Twisted Wheel. What a way to end MMTV number 9. You have been watching MMTV number 9. Thank you so much. Please do share this and tell your friends. We are back on Thursday, the 7th of March. All the information will be on the MMTV social media pages. Can we say a massive thank you tonight to the Afghan Stand Gang, Shaun Ryder, Dave Ryan, Glove, Brian Gorman, Tommy Fury, Johnny Brown and Twisted Wheel. All the information on MMTV is on our website, mmtvmcr.com. If you want to watch any of the previous episodes, you can do on the MMTV YouTube channel. A massive thank you to Ant and Neck for putting it on, and also to the sound lads, who they've had a few problems tonight. It's not been their fault. We'll get it sorted for the next one. Massive thank you to the sound lads. Mainly, thank you to our studio audience. We'll see you back here on Thursday, the 7th of March for MMTV Volume 10. I've been Dave Sweetmore. Good night.
Lucy the castle, she is money found. Lucy the castle, she will never pretend. She's a real wanna dancer, want to cause some fun. A dream and a baby, a diamond on the run. We are talents of teachers, maybe we're just wrong. We are touching girls and sculptures with their paws. I'm raving with Lucy, I feel like I can fly. Yeah, 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 yeah. Everyone you meet wants to meet you again. Everywhere you go, you leave something behind. Meet the dark soul, gonna make them shine. Lucy the castle.